Coffee with Cody.
Yeah, Sunday
All right.
vibes.
So we're here with Cody today. This is Cody. Cody, introduce yourself. How old are you?
So I'm 34, about to be 35. I'm the youngest boy of the family.
So what number are you in the 8?
Are we including Tony?
Yes.
All right, so we got 3,
Not
4,
just
5. I'm number 6.
He is number 6, and I'm number 3. So about to be 34 on the 31st.
Well, 35.
1991.
35.
35, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Damn, he's
Old.
The first thing, so Cody has been watching he's watched them all. He's the only sibling that's watched them all. So maybe you can commentate on what you've seen so far and maybe fill in some gaps because, I remember it the way I remember it. And then, sometimes I wasn't there all the time. So it's like, he probably has a different perception, just like Lucas and Hannah and Abby. Yep. So let's hear what you want to...
Yeah, so we all have our own reality, right? How we experience things. So as far as the beginning of the series, I don't know much about Amy's life and pretty much that entailed, but all I know is like where I was brought up. So pretty much I don't even know what house we were living in when I was born. I would say I think I was born at the greenhouse. Okay. I don't quite remember. There's been so many houses that we lived in.
Yeah,
So
I know. I did mention that.
It's hard to keep track.
They moved a lot.
So me being the youngest boy, I feel like just being brought up in a house with all these siblings,
He came into the chaos.
It was chaos for me for sure. But it's normal to me, but anybody from the outside looking in thinks that like that's not normal.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, well, it's my normal. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. Chaos is normal.
As far as like my early childhood, I don't remember too much. I remember the house by the church the most and the Southside.
Yeah, that the church house is one with the park where Travis ran away with a little asshole.
Yeah.
And then Southside, yeah.
Yep. So as far as I feel like the church house was like where it all started.
Yeah.
To go downhill.
Yep, that is where. That's where Abby was born. So Mom was saying that's basically where.
Yeah.
I was a little off on my timeline. I thought it was like after Cody, before Hannah, but it was actually after Hannah.
Yeah.
So
I remember. I think we moved into that house. I think I was in first grade. Maybe I was even in preschool.
You were pretty young. I know you were young because at the house by the church is the one I used to ride you on the handlebars. So you were little. And
watching the previous episodes, I was like remembering the haunted house you guys would build downstairs. Yeah. I remember a lot of things, jamming out to the Beatles downstairs. And
Michael, do you remember dancing to Michael?
Yeah.
He was like 4 or 5 or something.
But I'm trying to think as far as like the timeline goes. Obviously, I was young then, so I'm trying to piece memories together. And a lot of the like memories I have are like from the old home videos that we had.
Yeah.
So, but those are long gone now.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that, why that's gone. That's like episode 7.
Yep.
Do you remember the little basketball?
I don't.
It was like a little stuffed basketball.
Well, I do remember it. It was like a pleather.
Yeah, it was, well, it had like a smiley face on it, and I would get at the bottom of your bed and go, so it would like come up over the edge of the bed, and you would just laugh so hard.
I was like so joyful, and someone stole my joy.
That's what Kaylee was saying. She's like, I think he's still fine. I was like, well, you're just more serious, I think, than.
I mean, that's still.
And Cody, Lucas talks about how many kids. Let's talk about how many kids Cody has.
All right, so it's a little complicated. Not really. It's easy.
No, it's
not. So I have 3 baby mamas.
Okay.
I had my first child
it's 2025.
When I was 16.
6.
I was almost. I was almost 17 when I had her. She's about to be 18 in a couple days.
She's the same age as my daughter.
Yep. And then, so I have her, my only daughter. I have my oldest son. He's 15.
Oh, wow.
My second son, he's 12.
And we're not.
I have guardianship of my nephew right now, which is Abby's son. And
we'll get to that.
And then I have my youngest boy, who is, I forgot how old he is, 8 or 9.
Well, when you have a lot of kids, it's kind of hard.
He's 8. He's
and they all start with the letter B, so they probably all get called the wrong name.
They're all B's.
All mine are E's. Oh, no, you know what? That wasn't the one where I did the basketball. Was the one, I think that was the greenhouse or the duplex. Do you remember anything from there?
The duplex?
That's where Hannah was born.
I remember, the only thing I remember from the duplex is there was an attic.
Yes, that's where we hung out all the time.
And the attic was shared with the neighbor. I remember that there's 2 accesses to the attic, I believe.
But he didn't. He had there was a basement too, but he didn't use the attic. We had like full range on the attic.
Well, I remember I got like a marble run for Christmas, and I had it upstairs in the attic.
Yeah, you guys used to want to go because that's where like me, Heather, and Tony were. And you
Yeah.
guys always wanted to. Travis would always be like, "Come on, good."
A couple weeks back, because I was working on his car, and he took me out for lunch, and
Nice.
he was like, he admitted I didn't really have any of my own friends. He's like, so I kind of like tagged along with you and your friends.
He
and
was
I
kind of,
like,
and no offense to Travis, I love Travis, but like he was like for some reason he was just naughty, and everybody was annoyed by him because he was always naughty. He was stealing. Do you remember him stealing?
yeah.
He stole from GL Perry. It was so embarrassing.
He probably didn't break that habit till his late teens, to be honest.
Yeah. So
Unfortunately, but
So he was always just a little naughty butt, and we always were assigned a kid, and I always got assigned to Travis, and so he just, but that's just his personality as a child. He's not like that now as an
right.
adult. But
I always tried to stay out of trouble. I always
Cody was a good one.
kept to myself and tried to follow the rules. But like,
He was an Elijah.
my dad was very, I want to say he was very strict, but I feel like if one of us got in trouble, we all got in trouble. So it's like we had to look out for each other.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was a good thing.
I remember one time Lucas tried to like put on like, he was about to get spanked, so he like threw on like 4 pairs of underwear.
5 sweatpants.
I remember I stuck like paper plates in my pants
Oh my
before.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were 3 boys, so they were constantly getting in trouble. I mean, I think, like I said, I don't really remember Cody getting in trouble that much because he was probably the youngest.
I got in trouble a couple times. So, and there was like, I think there were outrageous punishments for the most part. So we were supposed to go to a Cubs game. It was our first Cubs game, and I came home like 2 minutes late.
Oh, I remember it from Stan's.
Yep, I
Yeah.
came home like 2 minutes late. My dad got mad, and we were supposed to go to the Cubs game the next day. And
Oh,
instead of taking me, he decided to take our friend. So
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
he did that.
he took Philip instead of me, but we were all like mutual friends with Philip.
Philip was one Lucas was talking about that he used to go up to the lake with.
Yeah, the lake and yeah, but yeah. So the church house.
The church house.
And then I remember a little bit of why we left that house with the issues with Dad.
Yeah, because that's where that started, and that's when Mom moved
Yeah.
out with Grandma, and he left him there.
Yep, and I
Because there's
remember-
no electric. Left him in the cold.
The funny thing is, you brought up the fish.
Yeah.
And I do remember that frozen in the bowl.
And he
Came back alive when he thawed out.
Southside.
I don't even know what happened to him, honestly. I don't
We
even
flushed him down the toilet.
But yeah, we were living at my grandparents' house. My mom found this house on the Southside, and that whole time's a blur to me because it was just like kind of traumatic, and I kind of spaced it out.
Yeah, because that was Mom finally did something, and like,
Yeah.
and that was probably not the norm for you. Like,
Right.
I thought we were just gonna have chaos for the rest of my life
And
because you wouldn't understand it at that age.
Honestly, at that time, I didn't even know my parents were separated.
Like, where's Dad?
Right. Well, it wasn't new. Like he was always
Gone.
off and gone, and
Yeah.
whatever may be. But I remember specifically. So we moved into that house on the South Side. It was summertime.
No,
I remember that.
it was July. I think.
We were all going to YMCA day camp at the time,
Yes. Yep.
and this is very so going back to my dad's death. I remember that specifically because he was gone for like 2 days before the weekend.
And he wasn't there that long he wasn't there that long at Southside because
Right.
she took him back pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
I remember him being there because I remember being on the computer late night and him listening to Blue Oyster Cult.
Like when we went to go look at the house, Mom and Dad were there.
Yeah.
I remember walking through the house and like he was showing us the rooms, and like I remember us kids were like running through the yard because they had like a big side yard.
Yeah.
And I remember there's like a kind of like a dip in the yard, and I remember running in the dark, and then the ground just like dropped out from underneath me.
We
But
could set the backyard on fire. Do you remember that?
I vaguely.
Yeah, Cody was a little young. He was only. I wish I had that video that we were talking about earlier because I have a video of us going to the Chi Chi Mart.
Yep.
Do you remember that? Do you have a teenager taking care of you all the time?
If you wonder where my joy went, that's where it went.
That's what I said. I think Cody lost his joy on the south side of it.
So
Kinda like-
we moved into that house. I don't remember too much of the house with Dad living there.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Because once again, it was YMCA day camp. We were there from like 7 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning to like 5 o'clock in the evening.
You said they moved in the summer, and he
Yeah.
died this 22nd of July, so he wasn't there long.
Nope. So I remember this what happened before that weekend, and Dad was gone for like a couple days already. At this point, it was Friday.
But he looked that up for us. It was a Sunday.
It was actually it wasn't Sunday. It was Saturday.
It was a Saturday.
It was Saturday.
That's what I thought.
Because what happened was, so I'm at day camp. My dad actually came in and brought me a lunch that day, even though he was gone for 2 days prior. But he's like, "I love you." Like, it was almost like his goodbyes. It was weird because my dad never did that.
Yeah.
He brought me a salad.
I didn't know. A salad?
Yeah, it was weird. And I asked him, I was like, "Well, can I go stay the night at Stan's house tonight?" He said, "You got to ask your mom." I said, "Okay." Whatever. So, Mom picked us up from day camp, and I asked her if I go to Stan's. She said, "Yep." So she took me to Stan's house. That morning, during, my mom had the argument with my dad,
Yeah.
and he didn't even come back Friday night. He came back Saturday morning. So
early.
I saw him the day before, and nobody else really saw him. I don't think.
Did you tell Mom that, or just?
I don't remember if I told her or not, because it was just, I don't know.
It's your dad.
Yeah. So I stayed the night at Stan's house, and that morning Travis ended up calling Stan's house.
Mom didn't even call?
No, Travis called. And I don't know who he talked to, because me and Stan were sleeping in Stan's room at the time. But Stan woke me up. I think it was like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you weren't even there.
It was something. It was early on the weekend.
It was early because Mom called us at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or something. Really early.
But I remember, he's like, "You got to get up. My dad's got to take you home." And I'm like, "Okay." Why? But I just remember coming downstairs. And it's funny that you brought up that Heather's husband wanted to stop and get donuts first and whatever. Well, I had donuts that morning too. But
it's a donut day.
They knew what was going on. They wanted to tell me what was going on.
Oh.
Maybe because I didn't want to deal with
be the one to, but they probably didn't be the one to tell you. I mean,
right.
That's what Lucas was saying. He thought that maybe Stan's mom had told you, so
Nope.
She didn't.
Nope, I didn't know anything at this point. I remember getting in the truck. I'm sitting in the backseat. I'm just staring out the window. I'm like, something's weird. Something's off. I was like,
were they acting different?
They were, and I was like, someone died. And I was going through my whole family history here. I was like, my dad's dead. I just know it.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. It hit me, and being 9 years old at that time, I saw Heather's car out there, and I'm like, yeah, something's going down.
Oh, so you got there after us.
I was the last one at the house.
Was Tony there before you? Because I know Tony came later too.
I feel like he might have been.
I feel like Tony was there. He got there relatively quickly.
Tony's pretty punctual, so I would say he was probably there. I think everybody was there before me, and I remember walking in. Everybody's there's people standing around. I walk up to Travis, what happened? He's like, "Dad died." I was like, "Dad died?" I was like, I didn't know how to take that. It's it was already in my head that he did, but I couldn't. It just brought it to reality.
Right, surreal. Almost.
Yeah, and so I just remember getting up on the couch, and I put my knees up like a child.
Yeah.
And I went like this, and Stan's dad came up to me, and he's like, I forgot what he said, but along the lines of if you want to come back over, that's fine. You can stay as long as you want. Because he knew I probably didn't want to be in that house.
Yeah, it was not a good atmosphere.
But I don't remember too much more about that day other than we went to... It was me, Mom, and Heather went to the funeral home for the funeral.
And so you were there for the accident?
Yes. So I was laying in the back seat because I was just sick. I feel like I was sick for the first 3 years after Dad died. It was weird. But
we were poisoning him.
I was sick, and I just didn't know how to take anything. My nerves were shot.
Yeah.
I was laying in the back seat, and she was driving to what car? It was an Oldsmobile or something.
It was
It was old.
It was the Dragon Wagon.
It wasn't that one. She didn't have that when we moved into the house.
Was it that silver Oldsmobile?
It was silver. It was a silver Oldsmobile. I believe.
She had the silver. That silver Oldsmobile was after the Dragon Wagon because Lucas ended up buying that, or she ended up giving it to Lucas
or whatever it was. It was a junk van anyway, so whatever. But this guy, I feel like we were going down Ewing or something. I don't remember where we were, but some guy backed out of his driveway in a truck, and Mom just T-boned him.
Yeah, because she wasn't.
And I just remember getting flown into the floorboards because I'm laying on the seat.
Cool. Good parenting, Mom.
So we all get out of the car, we're looking, and Mom's hysterical.
Yeah.
And Heather's
trying to talk to the guy.
Right, her husband just died, or my dad died, or whatever she said, and this guy was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, just go."
Yeah, he was
do what you gotta do. But there's a guy across the street. He's like, "I saw everything. I'll call the cops."
Don't.
He's like,
there's always somebody saying they're that, right? I saw that. It's not your fault.
But I remember we get to the funeral home, and I didn't want to go inside, so I stayed in the car, and I just didn't feel good.
That was immediate. That's so weird to immediately go to the.
Yeah, I thought that was odd too, because she had lace, a lace scarf or something, and then had Dad's.
I love lace.
She had Dad's partial, and she took that in there because she wanted that to be in the casket or whatever. Maybe.
Good Lord.
But
so the lace scarf, to explain that's the scarf she was wearing when she met him on their first date, and he's like, I love lace.
Yeah. So
worst pickup line ever, Dad.
So I'm like chilling in the car, and then one of the guys that works at the funeral home walked up, and he was like, "You want to come inside?" Like, it's like, not really. It's a funeral home.
Yeah.
I've been in this funeral home so many times,
Yeah.
and I'm only 9 years old. But he's like, "Well, we got pop, we got snacks and stuff." So I'm like, "Okay, let's." I was like,
see what you got.
You talked me into it.
Right.
So I go in there, and he's like, kind of like console me, make me feel better, and then I walk into the main office, and they kind of just sit in with Mom and Heather, and they talked about the arrangements and the obituary and all this other stuff.
Plus, you probably shouldn't leave a 9-year-old in the car in the summer.
I wish they would have, right? I feel like the obituary was pretty lame.
I don't even remember the obituary.
Didn't even have a picture.
Really?
Like,
Why?
Didn't have much details.
Well, because he committed suicide, they always have to say he died in his home.
Whatever. I won't put details. If I die from whatever I die from,
we'll make sure his is extremely detailed.
Put the details in it. Like,
we're gonna tell his whole life story.
If I fall from a tree and I get impaled by a fence post, like,
tell them.
Put it in there. People want to hear that.
I'll make sure your picture is in there.
We'll make sure it's a good one too, because they tend to use bad ones.
Right.
Here's Cody when he was 5.
Right. I don't know. I don't remember too much. I guess we talked about, or you guys talked about Abby's birthday.
Yeah.
And the
Do you remember that?
Yep, that was on the viewing day.
Yes.
I remember. I don't know if my memory's messed up or not, but I feel like Heather brought her ferrets over, and it stunk the house up real bad.
That's possible because Heather's always doing weird shit like that.
She brought her ferrets in a box.
Why?
I don't know, and I remember she kept them there while we were gone, and we came back, and it smelled like ferret piss.
They're so disgusting. Why the fuck would she?
I remember that.
I don't know, but I feel like it was that day of the viewing. She brought them over and left them there while we went to the viewing. So
maybe she was getting rid of them or something because she didn't have.
I think she just bought them then.
Oh, maybe she just because that's what you do, right? Let's go to the pet store.
It's trauma bond with ferrets.
There was a time when I did the median because remember Mom was talking to medians, and I did one because I was against it. I was like, I don't think you should be doing that. You're like opening up doors and shit. And she was like, you should just sit with me and see how cool it is. So I did it, and right before we got on, we were in her room talking, and like the light just went out, just like while we were in there, and we're like,
well, also keep in mind it is an older house. And
true, but this is why. So then we go into the median, into the chat room, and just get in there. This light just blew out in the bedroom, and we go into the chat room. She's like asking questions, what happened, like whatever. And she's like, "Did the light just go out in your house?" And I was like, looked at my mom like, "Oh my god, how did she know?" She's like, "Well, he wants you to know that was him." I'm like, "Oh my god."
And if you
I
think
was
about
freaked
it,
out.
If you think about it, that was the only house we ever experienced that in.
The only house.
Only house.
Mm-hmm.
So
my friends, when I went to Europe, I was telling Hannah this too, but when I went to Europe with Mom and Matt stayed there with you guys, when we got back, he told me all the stuff that happened.
Well, speaking of that too.
Yeah, tell me about that. I wasn't there.
My mom, I don't know, she was having I wouldn't call it midlife crisis because it really wasn't midlife. I guess it was.
She was, what, 40?
She was 40, so midlife crisis, I guess.
Yeah, 42.
Her husband just died, and now she wants to go.
Well, yeah, she was fucked up from that day on. Definitely.
She wants to, travel, right? So she would go to Germany, she'd go to New York.
The Kelly family.
She'd go, yeah, and leave her kids home alone.
Yep, sure did.
I'm going to let these teenagers babysit you.
Yeah, Amy's going to take care of you because she's 17 and does drugs and stuff, so that's fine.
So I don't even know if I went to school. I probably did, but...
You went to school. You were the good one. So Lucas is the one that was skipping school.
Yeah, because he was in middle school at the time.
Do you remember anything about the funeral or anything? Just to backtrack
just
a little.
But yeah, so the day of the funeral, I remember going there, and then there's just a ton of people there. I remember the first time I saw my dad in the casket. I just kind of stood there and stared at him for an hour. Yeah, it was just weird because I didn't want to believe it. And I thought
yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to believe it, and I would say that for the first 5 years after that, I just thought this is a joke. Yeah, he's alive somewhere. That wasn't him in the casket.
Yeah, I had dreams like that. He would sit up, just kidding, guys, because he was a jokester. He was very jokey. He was always telling bad dad jokes.
I remember Ricky got very mad because the guy that sold him drugs or did drugs with him came to the funeral. Yeah, and he got mad.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember talking to him outside, and he was talking about killing him.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember Ricky going down the alley, and he was just mad. He was ripping fence panels down and whatever else. I'm like, okay, leave him alone.
That's Ricky's Leon's nephew.
Yeah, we don't talk about him anymore. But
yeah, that's another not episode.
Yeah, we're not
going to cover that.
So
my gosh, I'm like remembering that.
I got like I said, I was like sick to my stomach, and I just...
Did I drive you there?
No, it was Mom.
It was Mom. Okay, I remember driving him one time and got him high. And
Yeah, that's a different time. We'll talk.
he was not happy about that.
No, it was not. But
Oh, Southside.
I was just like sick, and so I just like laid on their front porch. It's like a little concrete stoop.
Mom just left you there?
No, she was like, Cody, come on, like we gotta go. I was like, I can't get up. I don't feel good. But then
So it was nerves, probably the reason you were sick. Okay.
So then we went to my other friends, like on the other block. All my friends lived in the same neighborhood within like
that
2
was
block radius.
The church neighborhood, that's where he met Stan.
So I went over there, and my friends there, they were like real churchy, and they were great people. So I went over there, and then Stan met me over there, and then like I was just having a blast, like nothing happened that day.
He was young though.
Yeah. So
he probably just didn't really. It was surreal, and he probably wasn't really comprehending that Dad's gone forever.
But then again, it wasn't a big surprise to me because he was gone often, and
it was kind of a relief, right?
Right, it was because I didn't have to like tiptoe. I didn't have to worry.
Exactly. It was a weird feeling.
But there was new problems that came from that, and that was my mother taking care of all these kids that she couldn't really handle.
Right. When I've just discussed this a couple times with, I think Lucas, I did, and Hannah last night. But Mom told me right after Leon died, like, why would he do this to me? I don't even like kids. I'm like, yay, this is gonna be great.
I don't think any of us really like kids. We just put
we just have them.
I love my kids. But
that's what I always say. I love you, but I don't like you. Wait.
But yeah, so then we just kind of create this new life on the Southside, if you want to call it that.
It wasn't really a life, was it?
It wasn't.
Block that shit out, but
It was the hood.
It was the hood.
It's a lot nicer now because they tore down most of the neighborhood, but
they redid. Yeah, I was telling Hannah on the garage. It said this house is haunted.
Yeah,
somebody put.
Well, I remember I didn't step foot in that house for at least a year, or in that garage for like a year.
Yeah, we kind of stayed away from the garage, but then
bad juju.
We started being we
that
kind of spiral. I mean, you have to understand, we were all dealing with this in our own ways, and we were all young. I was still only 17 and left in charge of all these kids all the time, and I wanted to, and I was free from my dad, so I wanted to have fun and enjoy my freedom, and they suffered because of that, and I blame Mom.
Take things apart and put things together.
You did that a lot on the South Side.
Yeah. It was just like, I don't know if I'm autistic or what. But I think it's just my way of coping. His mind just works
keeping your mind busy.
Yeah. I remember one time I was working on, the first time you guys got me high, technically. I remember I was working on my skateboard on the porch.
You and Stan together. I drove you when I got you high. You guys
Nope, that wasn't the first time. The first time, I remember, it was Chris.
Oh, when you said the stars are beautiful?
Yes. Barking like a dog.
Stars are beautiful.
The stars are beautiful tonight, he says.
But yeah, and then I remember Chris took me up into the bedroom. Remember, you guys stole the big Easter egg from someone's yard and made it into a bowl.
We stole stuff out of people's yard all the time. I can't believe you remember the Easter egg. I forgot about that.
Oh, I remember a lot.
Chris was my ex-boyfriend, by the way.
Yeah, he was 12.
He was 13. No, I know. I'm sorry.
He
was 13. He was 15 and I was 17. So he was younger than me and shorter than me.
We got pictures of him. And he looks 12 compared to what you looked like back then.
I don't know why I like that kid.
He looked like a Muppet. That was the first time I got high, really. I was working on someone.
Well, you got mad at me because Mom made me drive you to Stan's.
Yeah, with all your friends, and you guys are just hotboxing the car, and I'm in the back I'm getting high.
You're getting me high. I was like, you're fine. He's crying.
Stan's crying. No.
Yeah, he was crying. Yeah, Stan wasn't with you, I guess. I guess we were taking you to Stan's.
Take me to Stan's. I remember going there. I was high as shit. And Stan was like, let's play laser tag. I was spit over.
Cody's falling.
Just crush on Stan.
Gross.
That's Hannah, by the way. She's in the background.
I think you had a crush on all my friends.
Carissa had a crush on Tony.
I think you had a thing for Nick at one point, too.
Nick. We were talking about Nick last night.
That was short-lived.
Hannah had a crush on Paxton, so...
Gross. I was talking to my wife about the situation. I was like, my bedroom was upstairs, but I had to stop staying in there because you and your friends would fuck with me in my sleep.
I didn't. It was probably Lucas, yeah. I didn't fuck with my siblings. I didn't fuck with my siblings.
I ended up sleeping with my mom every freaking night.
He did sleep with Mom, but Mom needed that comfort. I slept with her for a short time. But she snored and stuff, so I couldn't deal. And plus, I wanted to, hang out with my friends upstairs in the party room.
Mom slept with Dad's T-shirt for the longest time.
Yep.
It was a red shirt, I think.
Yep, I talked about that because it smelled like him. His shirt he was wearing, I think.
She would read the Harry Potter books to us every night.
And then throw it at Lucas's head.
Make us tea. which I thought was kind of weird. But
She made you tea?
Yeah, she made us tea, read a book with us. I don't know what the hell you guys were doing.
Probably partying.
Yeah.
So it was like you and the girls and Travis.
No, it's just me and Lucas. She read the book
Travis
to
was
me.
gone by then.
Travis was gone by then. Travis was only in that house for maybe 6 months.
Not even, because
It was like that winter.
It was
like
September because I came back because I went to school because that's when I came to live with them, and then I had to start my senior year. So it was quickly after your dad passed. It was probably August even.
Yeah.
He got saved from the Southside, which is a good thing.
And I just remember dealing with a lot of crap on the Southside.
He did, and I feel very guilty about that. Here's why: because Cody was only 8 and Lucas was only 12. So me and Lucas were like doing all this fucked up shit, and Cody was kind of like just in limbo. Like,
I was just there.
Yeah, because he didn't want to hang out with the girls, and he was too young to hang out with us.
But I'm kind of grateful for all that too, because if you look back at it, like, I had everybody to watch grow and like fuck up. Okay, I probably shouldn't do that.
I always say this: me and Cody are the most alike in a way that we make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of you guys,
I brought that up. I said, I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but you guys need to figure your shit out.
get your shit together. Get it all in a backpack and get your shit together.
No offense to my siblings, but figure your shit out.
Yeah, I love you guys,
please.
but like, if you make a mistake, please learn from it.
I don't like seeing any of my siblings fail, ever, and I always try to help out when I can.
Those pants in his wear.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Those are mine. They're like high waters on her, but anyway.
But
it's making me laugh.
I always want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
And I always try to help when I can. But I can only help so much if you're not willing to help yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got to help themselves. So a lot of our siblings tend to not realize and take accountability for what their actions are.
Right.
So,
and it's not like hard to like break the cycle, right?
No,
like,
I mean,
I've always wanted to do the best thing for my family, and I'm trying to do that. And I get backlash from it still, whatever.
Do
but
you,
it's my life.
so just to refer to that,
Yeah.
like, do you like how you live? Like, I notice a lot of our siblings kind of linger in the past a lot and blame how they are on that. How about you? How do you deal with that?
I don't.
That's exactly what I do. That's why we're alike.
I don't.
I just put it in a box and I don't open it.
When you blame your current life on the past that was over 20 years ago, like,
25 years
you're
ago.
stretching for excuses why you're not where you want to be.
Exactly.
Right now.
You should always strive to be better.
Right. And granted, the older I get, the closer I get to 40, which was the age my dad died.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought I'd make it to 40.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, it gives me anxiety thinking about it. I'm like, is this
42
how my dad felt? Am I going to kill myself?
Oh my god.
So I'm
you're not doing drugs, so I think you're good.
Right, but I don't use my past as why I am the way I am.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my past, right?
Right. I wouldn't change a thing. I always say that, even though it was convoluted and pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing because I learned a lot from that, and
Yep. You know, it's a very traumatic time.
it was.
I would say from literally birth to the time I moved out of my mom's house, it was all trauma.
Cody, I mean, because you that was your life.
Yeah.
I mean, when you started, like, you were 3 maybe when that all came to light, and that's probably all he knew. I need to get that video from Travis of Hannah doing her turtle dance.
Yeah, Amy's over here dancing and like trying to rock out, and there's toys and candy and stains on the carpet, and like it looked like
That's how it was when, like, okay, so this is how it was on the South Side too. Mom, no offense, cleaned nothing ever. Like, she just didn't clean.
She like mops the floor with dirt water.
With the, like, food on it. I remember there just being food on the floor all the time. It, like, drove, because I'm a little bit OCD, and I'd always be cleaning that. I just remember always cleaning the Southside house all the time because I had people there. I didn't want food on the floor.
I just remember going to school. I remember getting picked on a lot by Lucas.
Yeah. Lucas was kind of a bully.
He was a bully all the way up until now.
Yeah. He hardened up, you know. Lucas wasn't always like that. Being on the South Side changed him.
Yeah, Lucas was always goofy too. Like, he was always trying to be the funny guy.
He's not funny anymore. No, I'm just kidding. He lost his joy.
He was my biggest bully. So he was the
Yeah.
only brother that lived with me during that time. He gave me a black eye once.
I know we talked.
I remember going to school, and they like made me like hold up a freaking sign and take pictures of me.
Yeah, CPS came.
And my mom was supposed to leave the next day to Germany.
Yep.
And so I remember coming home from school, and the CPS lady's talking to my mom at the table.
Yep, I was
she's
there.
Like
I was sitting
freaking out because she's like, I'm about to leave all my kids home alone. Like,
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah, because I wasn't going to be there. I was going with her.
Yeah.
So what happened there, and I don't really know the whole story, but like Lucas, like I remember this happening because I was there, and Cody was sitting on the porch in a rocking chair. Lucas just walks up and punches him right in the face.
He like starts a fight with me. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Well, because he found like my underwear or something on your bed. But let me tell you something. Like on the south side, like we had all these people in in the upstairs area, so anybody could have taken those underwear and put them under his bed.
My bed was on the floor. It was just a mattress on the floor.
It was in between the two mattresses. It was on a box spring, then the mattress.
Okay, yeah.
And we were moving the rooms around, and like a whole pile of my underwear. It's like, what the fuck? It looks like it was Cody, and immediately went like punched him.
I'm like sitting on the porch. I remember him coming out and like just starts trying to fight me, and I'm like, what's going on? So I get up, I'm like running, and he hits me first, I think.
Yeah, he hit you in the chair. Yeah.
And then I'm like, what the hell was that for?
Yeah. Didn't even explain. Like,
no.
And I felt bad for you because I didn't really think you did that.
He apologized later. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on the day.
Yeah, you never wanted, like, Hannah always wanted to be up there. Anybody got a candy bar? But Cody didn't have any interest in being part of that.
Back then, you were like, that was back when you like go to like the raves and like you had strobe lights and black lights and black light posters.
I had a seizure. I'll talk about it.
I couldn't be up there with all that nonsense.
Yeah, it was nonsense.
I remember going up there one time. You guys were doing like whippets or dust off.
It wasn't me. That I did talk about that in episode 5, which hasn't aired yet. But that was Paxton.
Yeah. Anyways, I remember Chris was partaking in it.
Yeah,
too.
He was. Yep, and Lucas.
And I
was very mad about it.
And they're like, "You want to try it?"
No. I was like, don't ever fucking offer that. I got mad because Lucas was doing it.
And I was like, talking about like bananas knocking on the door or something. I'm like, what are you talking about, bananas? Like,
fucking stupid.
The Mezzi's, the Chi-Chi Mart, caddy corner from us.
Mart.
That was like our go-to spot, right?
Yeah.
Like 5-cent candy. Like,
they sold me cigarettes. I was only 17.
Yeah, this guy was cool as shit. But I remember,
hurry up and bite.
I stole a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos from him one time.
Yeah, we used to steal from there.
But came home and Lucas. Somebody caught on that I stole it, like made me go back and apologize and pay for it. I'm like,
probably Lucas.
I learned how to steal from you. What are you talking about?
Y'all learn from the best. Do you remember any like Abby's incident at Kohl's?
Yeah, I wasn't with her, but I remember being at home and Mom called the house or somebody called the house. But the story I got was that like she just like ran off.
As soon as we got in there, she like darted off. And she ran into a shelf. We never actually said what happened.
It's like a glass shelf that she ran into, and she like cracked her head open real bad.
She was bleeding. So she was only like 2. No, 3 because we had the birthday first. So she was 3, and she knew her mom's name. We heard it over the intercom. Well, Tammy, whatever her last name is, Chapman, come to the front. Like we're like, what the fuck? Abby knew her mom's name. And she's laying, or come up wherever in the jewelry section, and she's laying on the floor, just covered in blood. And I remember oh my god, what is the? Mom just let her run off. And
that's what I'm saying. That was like, why would you let your 3-year-old or 4-year-old?
She's like, whatever, and just took off.
Yeah, I mean, I used to run off too, but like not at that age.
Abby, like as soon as we got in there, like because they didn't have cards at Kohl's.
Yeah,
you couldn't put her in there. And Hannah, I thought she was on a leash. She said she wasn't, but I'm pretty sure she was.
On a leash?
On a leash.
She was always on a leash.
That's what I said. She was always on a leash. And Hannah's like, I wasn't on a leash. I was like, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Walked in the door, and Mom was like,
Hannah was a terrible child. Terrible.
The necklace makes her evil. We never talked about that, Hannah. Hannah, you gotta tell the doorknob story. We never did tell that.
The glass doorknob that always came off.
Dude, it came off the door, and she like comes into the living room. We have all our friends there as usual, and she just chucks it at one of our friends, Vinny, and like he just gets this immediate goose egg. I was like, Hannah, what the fuck? Why'd you do that? She's like, here, take this necklace. It makes me evil. I'm like,
you guys used to make Abby and her fight.
Yes, we were talking about that last night. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hannah always got beat up.
Abby threw a shoe at Hannah and her nose started bleeding.
Oh my god.
That's fun.
It was chaos. Remember Dirty Kevin?
I do remember Dirty Kevin.
That was Chris's uncle.
I even remember
Was it?
Dirty Kevin.
Yeah.
He's probably dead now.
I remember
He has to be dead.
a story. So we had those Mexicans that lived across the street.
Yeah.
Not that it matters that they're Mexican, but we had those gang members that lived across the street.
Latin Kings.
And they would sell this crackhead crack, or they made him do work for it.
Yeah.
So
he'd do some shit like mow lawn or whatever.
One day it was snow. It was snow or whatever, and they told Dirty Kevin that to like shovel, and they'd give him some crack for it. Yep. So he's shoveling, and then as soon as he's done, they're like, all right, now drink this bottle of cologne. And so he did it, and he's throwing up all over, and then they take the crack rock and throw it in the snow.
Yep.
That's fucked up, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember going back to the Hispanics across the street.
We'll call them
So,
the gang members.
That was like, it was the grandmother's house, but they all like congregated there.
Yeah.
That was like their home office, right?
where they
So-
dealt drugs.
It was their
Yeah.
corner.
And so I remember being on the porch, and there was always kids over there, but they never left their corner. They were always at their house.
Yeah.
They never like veered away from the house.
Domingo was one of them too. I remember.
Yeah. Domingo. It reminds me of the Saturday
Cor-
Night
oh,
Live.
yeah.
Um,
I almost said their last name. Don't say that.
but I remember sitting on the porch, and I always listened to Amy's Eminem tape.
Eminem, man.
She had an Eminem tape, and I'd just be like
It was probably a CD.
singing it. It was.
I'm Slim Shady, Mom, with the
Yeah.
headphones. I'm Slim
Was it
Shady.
like from Others?
No, it was the Slim Shady.
It wasn't a CD either. It was a cassette tape,
Okay.
and
That mean-
they used to call me Slim Shady because I was listening to Eminem all the time.
yeah.
And then I remember
Eminem
going
was
over there
cool.
like teaching me like basketball moves because the kids were always out there playing basketball. But I remember, I don't know where we were coming from, but I remember coming back home one day.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like a freaking
Gunfight,
fight
yeah.
in the road.
A shootout.
And Mom like skirted around into the alley. So we get into the house. We're like at the bottom of the window looking like what's going on. Then all of a sudden the SWAT team fucking flies in. Everybody scatters, throwing shit everywhere.
There was a time too that somebody ran into that electric pole right in front of our
Oh, I remember that.
house, and like the dude ran through our backyard bleeding because he
Bleeding,
like
leaving a
yeah, 'cause
trail.
he obviously didn't have a fucking insurance or something.
It was like a van.
Yeah, and then so the van's like in the pole, and they ran through our yard, and they're like the cops came, even though we had nothing to do with it because he ran through our yard.
Pole snapped in half.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Do you remember stealing the stop sign in front of our house to use as a
Rail.
rail
We
to
stole signs all the time.
to skateboard on?
I remember
A stop sign though, that's pretty serious offense.
it was either the stop sign or the transpo sign.
It was a stop sign. I remember.
There was a transpo stop right in front of our house. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
I remember. I forgot what his name was, but I remember sleeping one time. He was one of your guys' friends. I think he's like a redhead dude or a bald dude, but he robbed the Chi-Chi Mart. And he like shot the lock
Mike
off the door.
Flynn. That was Mike Flynn.
Yeah.
That was Josh Flynn's brother. That was a good
Yeah.
time.
He's a worm.
He's dead now.
Is he?
Yep.
So is Tommy Llewellyn.
Karma's a bitch.
Yep.
Sorry.
And so is
said his name.
Justine. Justine's dead too.
Anyways.
Joe's dead. Josh is dead. Mike's dead. Josh and Joe were both murdered.
Yeah.
Oh,
But anyways, that's the Southside for the most part. Just drugs, chaos, death, trauma.
do you remember Dayton? I have to have Lucas probably tell this story.
The kid from Dayton? I mean,
Oh my
Heather
God,
would
Heather,
pick him up and brought him
This
to
is
our
what
house.
I say about Heather being the bad one. She did such. You think I did fucked up shit? Heather, way more fucked up shit than me. She just hid it really well.
I just remember Dayton.
Dayton. So we're like sleeping, and Heather just shows up at the house, comes upstairs with like McDonald's. She's like, "Hey guys," like waking us up like 2 cans Sam, and we're like, and she's like, "I brought McDonald's. You guys will you ride with me to go? I'm gonna go pick up this person
Not worth it.
that like she's married by
She's
the
like
way.
talking to him online.
She was like 19 because I was only 17. So she was 19 and married for like a year, and because she got married at 18, I think. I
Was
don't
that
know.
with Mike?
The first Mike,
Yeah.
because she's been married 3 times.
Yeah.
She like was talking to this guy online and was gonna go pick him up in this place called Dayton, Indiana.
Yep.
So she lured us out of the house to go with her with this McDonald's, and we're like, okay, McDonald's sounds great. So we like went with her.
Road trip.
It was
I
like-
didn't go though.
It was like a 5-hour drive, or I don't know, I'm probably exaggerating. It was a long drive, like 2 hours, let's say. And we get there, and it's like this 17-year-old kid just standing there with his mom at a gas station to pick up. And I was like, dude, what? And we, this kid standing there, and I was like, don't get this kid. Like, me and Lucas are like, what the fuck? And then Heather, like, lets him get in the car, and the mom, like, lets him get in the car with us. And the kid was only 17, so she didn't know that. And then she realized, then she drives him all the way back to our house on the south side, and it's like, hey, I have to go.
Right, just
Left
leaves
him
him at
there.
our
The kid,
house.
and this kid is in the ghetto, okay? And he is scared. He doesn't know anybody. Heather just leaves him there. She's like, I have to go. I was like, okay.
Right.
Are you coming back? Like, are you gonna get this kid out of here? She had no intention of coming back. Like,
No, like, okay, I fucked up. I'm disappearing.
what did
now.
she think was gonna happen?
I'm gonna run from my problems.
That's what she does. She's like, all right, I'm out. So, yeah. So this kid was getting traumatized left and right by our ghetto friends, and they were
Fucking
like,
with him hard.
yeah, he started crying and saying he wanted his mommy. Do you remember that? And Lucas is like, dude, get this kid out of here.
I'm just like sitting. I'm just like the onlooker. I'm just like,
I didn't know what to do.
What the fuck's
Even
happening
Mom was
right
like,
now?
"Why is this kid here? Like, what is going on?" And I was like,
What? How do you even get back? Did you guys get like?
So that's the story. So they like Josh Flynn.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say his last name. So Josh,
He's gone. It's okay.
he's gone. But me and Tessa were like best friends, and that was her boyfriend. And she they were not like, they were good people. They were like, and Josh like, we got to get him out. Like, we got to get him back to the house, because Heather had no intention of doing that. Because I called her, I'm like, dude, this kid is crying. She's like, I can't do anything. I'm with my husband. Weird. So Tessa asked her mom to borrow her car, which Tessa's mom did not have a great car. It was like this brown turdy piece of shit.
Yeah.
So me, Josh, Tessa, and I think her cousin Joey, you remember him?
Yeah.
All of us took this kid back. So we're like, all right, we can take you if you can give us gas money when we get there, because like, we were kids, we didn't have any money. Josh was 18, I think, and he drove. So we get all the way there, and when we get there, and here's the thing, the kid's name was Dayton. He lived on Dayton Street in Dayton, Indiana. Like, that's why I call it the Dayton story, because it's so fucked up.
Born and raised Dayton.
So we get there, and we're like, we bring him back, and he's like, yeah, I don't have any money. And Tessa was so pissed. She's like, we need to get back home. So she was like, I'm gonna call the cops then. She like started calling, like she had her mom's cell phone, and his mom was like, no, I'll get you. And miraculously she had money, and then we were on our way. On the way back, Kokomo, I remember, car breaks down. Breaks down. This is like, by this time it's like 3:00 in the morning, and I was like over it, pissed. I call Heather, and I said, hey, our car broke down, and if you don't come get us, like right now, I'm calling your husband. And she was like, I'll send somebody. She did. But yeah, that was fucked up. And then we went back to go get the car, and it was gone.
Got towed. The Southside was full of...
There's so many stories.
There was an abandoned school across the street.
Yeah.
I remember I'd break
Broke
the
into
windows.
it, yeah.
I remember we broke into it that one time.
The cops came.
Tyler
was part of that.
Well, at first we heard the radios. We're like, what was that? And then we're like running. And then like, I remember the cop like jumped out from like one of the rooms. Like, I gotcha. And I'm like, what?
I didn't know you went over there. I know Lucas was over there, and Joe, and Tyler was part of that too. But Tyler got scared. Tyler heard him coming and like dipped. He came back and told me the cops were over there.
The weird thing is, I remember breaking in there with Stan one time. I think it was Stan, and it was like June, and there's like an inch layer of ice on one of the floors, and I was like, why?
They talked about that.
It's like, why is there ice on the floor in the middle of summer? I said, this is odd.
It is odd.
I guess it wasn't middle of summer; it was at the beginning, but
maybe it just was protected from the elements.
But the homeless would break in there and sleep in there. And remember, you would always hear like people running around in there. Or
yeah, they said it was haunted. I think that's why your guys were going in there, just to.
Yeah, I remember like going through one like the preschool classrooms that had like the old school like animals painted on the wall with like the alphabet along the border. And it was pretty cool. But they ended up tearing that down and put like a homeless rehabilitation center there now or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Coming up in the world.
There's a lot that went on the South Side.
There's so much. I keep thinking of new things. I'm like, oh, that remember when that?
Yeah.
There's just so many things, and it wasn't a good situation. Like I was talking to him about when Lucas beat me up. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Because Cody actually is the one. Because my mom never went up there. She would just like yell from the bottom of the stairs.
I remember, and I was like, what's going on? And I just hear my mom yelling. So
like,
I
Lucas, like he's beat me up at the top of the stairs. She's standing at the bottom of the stairs. He threw me into the air conditioner and it went flying out the window, and like he was like pummeling me in the head.
Well, I remember like mom's yelling at the bottom of the stairs, and I saw you on the ground against the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just like swinging, and so I run up the stairs and I
Cody
him,
came up
and
there.
I rip him off of you.
Yep.
And he just starts running out the house.
He ran because mom's like, I'm calling the police. And this is the funny part. So, I mean, it's not funny. It was nothing about that was funny. But he went running down the stair and flew out. He went out the back door like there's a Lucas impression, like a cartoon character through the back door. And he was gone. He was 12.
Well, he claims that as he was running out and got into the alley, he like slipped and fell and hit his head and blacked out. And he came back home the next day. Oh, there it is again.
It's haunted. All right, go away. What is happening? This has never happened before. We just got... Is that your dad?
I don't know. We'll do it again.
Is it... Dude, this is just... This is just a camera. Like, that should not be happening. What is that?
That's weird. I don't know. But
we just had fireworks. I gotta look this shit up.
He claims he like slipped and hit his head and blacked out, and that he didn't remember anything from that night. But I think that's just his excuse to get out.
Because he didn't want to admit that he fucking beat me
Yeah.
up.
But you had like bruises on your forearms.
I had lumps on my head, like a fucking cartoon.
He was an asshole.
Yeah, that was because he was drunk and I was drunk. We were both drunk.
Children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because that's how we dealt with it. Not the best way, but you know,
I only talked to one person from the Southside still, and that's Fat Matt.
I talked to Tyler. Tyler's my Southside.
Well,
friend.
Tyler too, but
Yeah.
he always weirded me out. Sorry,
Tyler.
Tyler.
Hi, Tyler. Tyler is my best friend, but Tyler was the only one that wasn't a ghetto piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was a good man, but he's gay, and he just would not admit that, and we all knew he was.
He was obsessed with wrestling and touching guys.
He's like, "You guys want to wrestle?" Like, Tyler.
No, please don't rub your crotch on my leg.
But half those guys were letting him.
Yeah.
Not Cody, not Joe. I know he told me that the only ones that weren't like mess around with him were Joe and Lucas. And Cody.
Yeah.
But
We knew
Tyler
that.
has a crush on Cody.
I don't get it. But yeah, the only
I
one
love
I
you,
talked to
Tyler.
from the South Side is Fat Matt still, and he still lives on the South Side.
Yeah, I've talked to Fat Matt. When Joe died, there was like a reunion, and I remember Chris was there, and he's like, "Oh, look, the whole crew's back together," and I'm like, "Oh, no."
Matt's a real good guy.
Matt is a good guy. Matt was one of my best friends. Him and Tyler were, and Joe, obviously, and Tessa.
What's weird is when I went to jail, so I went to jail for like 4 days, and my cellmate was Tommy Llewellyn.
Oh my God.
He's gone now too,
Yeah.
but
He was
we
one
were
of
like
my-
just reminiscing. I'm like,
I thought he was
Southside.
cute.
he reminds me of like Spud. I don't know.
He had a
got,
big
like,
jaw.
big square jaw, like.
But he had
square
these
head.
piercing blue eyes or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I always wanted him to be like, "Hey," but he never did.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about all the boyfriends you had.
I had like one.
well, let's see. There's Chris. There is Paxton.
Paxton
there
was before
Ray,
Chris.
There was.
Ray was later, after Southside.
We can count Brandon. That was after Southside too.
Count Brandon. I was with him for 3 years and had a child with him. Brandon was. I dated Matt. Not the Matt that lived with us. I had 3 friends named Matt, but I dated Matt, and then from Matt I dated Paxton, and then from Paxton I dated Chris.
Which Matt P?
Matt P.
Okay.
He was too nice for me. He
was
wouldn't fight
very-
with me.
He was very nice. He was like the only friend of yours that I liked.
I was dating him when I had my seizure because he carried me downstairs.
Yeah. I remember that whole situation.
I don't even remember
I
it.
remember you go to the hospital and
Yeah.
they did like a CT scan. And,
Yeah, because I had a seizure and it was due to the strobe light, and I was taking some.
Remember that one
stuff.
time when you guys found the home video and I came home from school, you're like, you want to see somebody break his leg skateboarding?
No.
And it was a sex tape, Mom and Dad.
Oh my God! Yeah, Tony found that. We still had that. Oh my God!
It was all black, so the lens cap was still
Here's
on.
why. Oh my God! I can't believe you remember.
Traumatized.
Tony found that. We were watching just home videos of like Christmas and sledding because we had the sledding video and stuff.
Yep.
And we were watching it, and all of a sudden it just cuts to a black screen, and then sex noises, and you got it on my back, or so. I was like, what the fuck? So it was my mom and my stepdad having sex with the lens cap on and recording it.
And
Just-
someone thought it was funny to prank me to when I was like 10.
well, it's kind of like when Hannah was like, "You want to see a Spider-Man folder?"
Oh, yeah.
I think that was more traumatizing for me because all I saw were all these thumbnails of naked mom, and I'm like, my eyes,
But yeah, so.
mom,
Talking about that one.
by the chicken place.
Yeah. So we moved into that house. Before we did, I remember I went to go with Mom to put down the deposit on the house. And we looked at it. And I remember walking to the house. I'm like, why are the floors like dipping down?
Yeah, it was very strangely. If you thought the Southside house was a fun house, this one was like all these rooms they like added on.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, there's a ton of rooms.
It was almost like a modular home with a basement. It was weird.
and that's the one that had the trap door.
Yeah, I remember the guy, he's a slumlord. I remember him pulling up. He was an older
Oh yeah,
fat guy.
Was it Bruce? No, that was Southside. Sorry.
Yeah, that's outside. But this guy was older. He drove a black Chevy Avalanche. That's what I remember.
I do.
I remember. So we moved in. So my room was originally the one with the trap door.
Yes, that's where we had the party.
It had blue carpet. I remember.
We had a little a rug over the trap door that
Yeah.
was like the moon or something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Solar system.
Yep. But it was just a piece of plywood on the floor that went to this little dungeon
Crawl
basement.
space, yeah.
But then you didn't live with us at that time.
Now I came back, so I moved out and with my coworker, and
Yeah.
that didn't work out. So I came back for a very
Yep.
short time. That's
So
when I got
Heather-
Leia.
So I said Heather. Hannah and Abby stayed in the room that you moved into.
Yeah,
But then when you moved back in, the girls took my room.
Yeah.
You took their room, and I moved in with Lucas.
in that garage room.
It was a
thing.
garage room. It was probably a double stall garage that they added a room in there.
Yeah, they obviously did a lot of bad
Yeah.
revisions on this house.
Yeah.
but
So it was always cold in there. It had its own like little
Heater.
like what do they call it? A base heater.
yeah, it wasn't properly insulated or something.
Yeah, it was terrible. But then when
Good
you
times.
I remember this too, and I'm not blaming you for it. I'm going to blame Ray for it because I snuck into your room one time and I found a VHS tape and it wasn't marked because I was hoping it was a home video and I put it in and it ended up being like a porn video.
Oh, I bet you
It
it was.
traumatized the shit.
It
out
would
of me.
probably that porn video that that's so funny because we used to sit around and watch porn, and that funny, but it was bad porn.
Yeah.
It was like Corey's. It was Corey's tape.
Probably.
And we would sit there and make fun of it because it was like out in the wild in a canoe or something, and there was like
weird
flies buzzing around this chick's.
It was weird. So I remember I put it in.
Sorry, I don't know why I had that.
I'm in the living room. I put it in. I see this, and I think it was like butt stuff too. And I was just like,
I really spits on this chick. Oh,
So I took it out and I turned on SpongeBob to feel better.
I'm so sorry. I never knew that happened, and I don't know why I had that tape. I certainly didn't sit there and watch it, but probably just so it wasn't out in the kid movies, so you wouldn't watch it.
I remember. So I had Nick stay the night one time. This is when I was still sharing a room with Lucas, but I don't think Lucas was home. He was either hanging out at a friend's house or something. I remember Hannah would sneak in because Mom would give us money. I think Keith was living here at the time. That was when they met, and he moved in right away. It was weird. Anyways,
Who did? Keith did?
yeah, they dated for like a month.
Yeah,
and then
that's
got
when I moved
married,
out. He was
3
really
months
rude to
later.
me.
It was weird.
And I moved out and got the apartment on Cedar across from right there.
Oh yeah, that little
The
one
cockroach place.
the one that Danny broke into.
Yeah, the one that my cousin broke into.
And so we bring back. We would just play video games all night, eating licorice and whatever else.
Life got a little better.
And Hannah would sneak in the middle of the night and I think one morning I woke up at 6 o'clock. She's just in there eating my fucking Twizzlers.
Hannah always did that shit.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Even on the south side, because we used to get Dr. Pepper all the time. She has PTSD about this. And we'd smoked. So we'd put our cigarette butts out in our empty cans, and she would go around trying to drink all our Dr. Peppers and get cigarette butts. She said she doesn't drink Dr. Pepper to this day because of that.
Another fun fact: when I was a kid, there was always ashtrays everywhere, and I remember taking chewed up bubble gum out of an ashtray and chewing on it.
Oh, Cody.
I was desperate. I remember
Kids.
Remember one time I stole it was grape bubble tape. We all went shopping at Martin's, and
Man, you guys were stealing left and right.
well, Dad wouldn't let us get it.
Yeah,
So I said, "Screw you, dude."
that's true. Travis did that too.
I put it in my pocket, and then my dumb ass opens it in the fucking car on the way home. He smells it.
He's like, "Where'd you get that?" I'd be
Where'd
like,
you get that?
I had it.
I said, the store.
You couldn't help but
He's
be.
like, "Did you steal it?" I said, "Yeah."
Travis was always stealing.
Yeah, always.
He probably is the one that taught you. Travis was always. I remember one time we were at a pizza place, and your dad was still alive, and there was a claw machine, and Travis put his arm up there and got a coloring book or something out of there, and Heather's like, "Where'd you get that coloring book?" And he was like, "Oh, I put my hand up there," and she told on him. Heather,
You're a snitch.
yeah, what a snitch! Snitches get stitches, Heather, and he got beat for that. Travis got beat a lot.
Yeah, he did. When he stole $100.
Tell that story.
So my mom was going garage sailing, and she decided to drop us 3 boys off. I don't know who the girls were.
They had to pay their rent too in cash or something, which is why she had all those hundreds.
So she dropped us off at the park.
Or your grandma's maybe, Grandma Mason's.
It was, she dropped us off at Nooner, but it was right a block away from Grandma's house.
Yeah.
So we're at the park playing or whatever, and before she drops us off, Travis is rummaging through my mom's purse because she just kept it on the floorboard in the back seat.
For some reason.
So
Probably
he thought he grabbed $1, but it ended up being $100.
100, and they were poor.
And I think he realized what it was, so then he buried it.
He was he didn't want anybody to know he took it, so he buried it while these kids are watching him bury a $100 bill.
So my mom finds out that it's missing. My dad finds out. And we're at the house, and he lines us up in front of the door. He's interrogating us like we're murderers.
I remember this. It was very traumatic.
I'm
actually.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Cody's like, it wasn't me. Smile to show your dimples.
I think I knew what was going on, but I didn't tell. Right?
Lucas told. Lucas is the one that read it.
I just remember
Lucas well, he did this thing with he buried it. Yeah.
I just remember my dad grabbing my brother up.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if he smacked him or what.
He grabbed him up by the back of his shirt or something.
His nose started bleeding.
Yeah,
or
he was
whatever.
just beating him.
But Travis's nose bled. He
was beat a
wrong.
lot. His ears were fucked up too from being fucked up. But he was bad. And here's the thing with Travis. This would happen to him, but he would never learn from it.
No.
He was I remember one time he was refusing to do dishes at the church house. I'm like, Travis, do the dishes or your dad is going to beat your ass. He was just refusing to do it. Yeah. I ended up doing it just so he wouldn't get his ass beat.
I had to do dishes when I lived there. I was 8 years old, standing on a chair doing dishes at the sink.
Yep.
That was when I actually pushed Hannah down the stair in the walker.
I forgot about that.
I don't know.
That's why Hannah was fucked up.
Something just came over me, and
you were
I saw
probably
her,
jealous of her.
So there was a kitchen, and it had like a double swing door to get into the kitchen. And somehow she got into the kitchen. I don't even know how she got in there. It's just
Because she wasn't being watched.
probably. And she's like in this walker. Hannah was like she was a fat baby. She was a big baby.
She was. So was Cody though.
Yeah, I grew into my chubbiness.
Yeah, Hannah was kind of hefty too.
But yeah, so she's like walking around in her walker, and then there's like a little hallway that goes down, and there's a little half bath on the left,
Yep.
and then the basement door.
Yep.
And she gets
In
down
the back,
over there.
There's a porch door there too.
Yep, on the right hand side. That's where we threw all of our trash. It was like the trash room.
Yeah, and there was mice in there,
It's
and your dad
gross.
stepped on one.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's gross. I was right there when it happened.
Oh man.
But yeah, so she was like right there in her walker, and so I'm like, huh.
What if I just push her down the stairs?
I said, yeet.
You were probably jealous because you were the baby.
And there were long steps. Like there was like probably 40 steps.
I was a little jealous of Cody too because he was so cute and he got all the attention. And I was like, "Fuck this kid!" I used to torture you with masks. He was scared of masks.
Yep.
Every time my mom wasn't looking, I'd like pull out this mask and Cody'd be like, "Ah!"
That was at the greenhouse,
Yep.
primarily, I think.
Yep.
But I remember,
Hannah was okay though.
yeah,
She was fine. I think.
I think we bumped ahead a couple times. But, you know.
My mom was like, "Oh, I don't think you admitted that you did it."
Well, I tortured Hannah a lot when she was little. I remember me and Stan.
There's always somebody torturing
We
somebody.
tied her up to the clothes hanging, like the post outside where you hang your clothes on. We like tied her up with a bike chain.
She probably was like, "What are you guys doing?" We taped her to the wall.
She was traumatized about everything. You'd be like, the boogeyman, or like the light bulb. She would like freak out. And so we like changed
Hannah
her.
was easy. She was like Travis,
Yeah.
real easy to like fuck with.
One time I don't know what came over me. I caught a bag on fire and put it over her head. It was
Cody?
a plastic bag.
Yeah, Cody was jealous.
And then
Man.
my dad found out about it, and I remember he like tried like to teach me a lesson. He turned on the stove and held my hand over it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm like, no!
He was probably just trying to scare you.
I don't think he turned it on. I think he made the
I
click,
was like,
click,
there's no
click,
way.
click. And then I just started freaking out because he's like forcing my hand over the burner.
Man, that's dramatic. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
See, these kind of things, I'm telling you.
I remember he would joke around a lot too. I remember
He was a jokester.
I remember
He used to flip his teeth upside down.
him and Lucas had this plan or whatever, and so he acted out like he was like ripping Lucas's guts out.
Oh my god.
And so he got ketchup and like cheese, and he's like acting like he's ripping Lucas's guts out. Lucas is like, ah!
Spaghetti noodles, maybe.
Yeah, and I was like freaking out.
Why would he do that?
I know, traumatized.
Their dad
with
was their dad was a jokester for sure. He always had. Do you remember? You went to Great America with us, right? That was our last trip.
I always went together.
That's right. Lucas, like Cody was there. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Cody was there because
I
it
was
was
there.
the three boys and then me, Tony, and Carissa came.
There's a picture of that day.
Yeah, and you're holding that little stuffed
Yeah.
alien.
Is that the same day where I think there's a picture of him and Lucas
Yes.
and he's wearing a sombrero?
Yes, same day.
Lucas lost his glasses on a roller coaster that
yeah.
day too.
Yeah, that was.
My dad got pissed.
Here's the thing. So mom didn't go because she had to stay with Hannah. That's when Hannah got into her diaper and ate her own poop and stuff. But like he took all us kids,
Yep.
and we were all assigned a kid. So I think we gave Carissa Cody because he was the easiest one because she was helping because Heather couldn't come for some reason, and I had Travis as usual, and Tony had Lucas. But yeah, it was a good time. We had so much
It was
fun. We
great.
stayed really late. And do you remember and we still use this to this day, but we were like, it would start thundering and stuff. Like
Yeah.
after we left, and we were like sitting at a light or something, and this crack of lightning came down, and all these geese flew up out of like this cornfield or something, and your dad was like, let's get the flock out of here.
Yep.
I still say that to this day. So yeah, it smelled like body odor and onions. I couldn't wait to get out of that van because it was like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, I got tons of memories. I remember having to go pee real bad, and I don't remember if he made me pee in a bottle or pee out the window.
Probably
but
in a bottle because he
Yeah.
didn't want to stop. We were like,
I was like, I don't really feel like pulling my wiener out right now.
that was a fun
But-
time though. Your dad was always trying to have fun.
But that's always coming from after he was like binging and like fucked up, and he always tried to make us feel better about it. Like he felt sorry for us or felt bad.
Felt
So-
bad, yeah, because he was a good dad essentially, and I'm sure he had some guilt about what he.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had some guilt about how his family was affected by it, and that hitting and stuff. That was more of an alcohol thing than the crack.
Yeah, he was very. I
Evil.
remember one time he came home from work, and we were supposed to go. I think it was a Friday night. We were supposed to go out to eat that at a Old Country Buffet, and
Not CC's Pizza.
nope. But we were on our way there, and we were passing the park, so we got like literally a block down the road, and my mom and him got into an argument. He literally stopped the car in the middle of the road, got out, and walked home.
He did that very often.
And
I forgot about him jumping out of the car. All the
I don't
time.
know if mom ended up taking us to
No,
Did
she
or
probably
not.
followed him around. That's what she did.
Well, by the time we got back to the house was trashed. Like, the table flipped over, the plants were thrown into the wall, so there was dirt on the walls.
So he just went home and had a meltdown?
It was trash, and he wasn't there. So she must have, like, taken us to go get McDonald's or something instead.
Keith is the next husband.
He had a mustache.
He had a mustache?
He had a mustache. And I was like, I don't like this guy.
I remember he was like a DJ or something. He had all these all this music, and I used to like use his
Yeah.
stereo, and he'd be like, "Don't touch my stereo."
Yeah, a wannabe DJ. But he was technically a bartender at, like, Red Lobster or something.
Oh yeah, he did
And
that.
he worked
too.
at the printing press.
Yeah.
Yep, so
Keith.
we met Keith.
Well, and that will be episode 6.
Yeah, I got a lot of stories about
Yeah,
that,
so
too,
episode 6, I'll talk about where I was in life, but what was happening with them was a little bit different because I was gone. Once Keith came, I felt relinquished from my duties of
Right.
making sure my mom wasn't making bad decisions because Keith came, which is one good thing about Keith. I know that you guys have a lot of bad memories with Keith, but he did step up. He did take on, like, a very problematic family.
Yeah, I'm, like, thinking back about it now that I'm older. I'm not a teenager anymore.
Right.
Like,
You
I
feel
treated
different.
him like shit.
Yeah, I feel bad about some of the stuff,
But
too.
at the same time, he treated us like shit because, like, he made us feel like we were, like, a nuisance. And
Yeah, and he was real jealous of your dad because
Yeah.
our mom was still in love with him because she didn't, I mean, he died. So it wasn't like it was her choice to not be, that was like the love of her life, right? And Keith was real jealous of that and jealous of their kids together,
Yeah.
so.
We moved back to the house by the high school. And so that kind of got me away from all my friends. But it was for a good thing.
Yeah,
Good
in the
reason.
end, it turned out to be good because then they end up going. Then my mom married Keith, and they got. She still lives in the house that they bought, and they had good schools, and everything kind of turned around for them, which is good.
Yeah.
So because if we would have kept going on that path, all those people we hung out with on the Southside are either drug addicts or dead.
Yeah.
So, or not all of them. Obviously, we said there's a few of them that didn't, but yeah. So I think that saved us from total destruction. But good job, Mom.
Yep. But yeah, so we
Well-
wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for all this trauma and all this other
Exactly.
crap.
But
So
we still come up on top. That's my.
it gives us all the experiences. I mean, you think about it. Like, my wife, she grew up in her area her entire life. The house we live in is her childhood home.
Right.
She was,
Which is standard.
I wouldn't say she was coddled, but she was she had a good life.
She had it how it's supposed to be.
Right. She had
She had a
life.
normal life.
For the most part. She didn't have her parents really, like, she lived with her grandma for the most part. Her mom was still present, but her mom was also
Young.
working like 3 jobs and, like, couldn't take care of her.
Yeah.
So,
She was young too, right?
yeah, she was young. But my wife always says, like, your childhood was so traumatizing. I was like, but I'm appreciative for that because now I have all this experience at such a young
As a
age.
father too.
And
Like,
as a father.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a big
so-
thing because he's a great father and his kids have a great life. So that says a lot right there.
Yeah. And there's a whole story behind all that too. But
That's a different episode.
yeah. We
But-
can make a whole year out of this.
That's what I said. I said we could probably have an episode for every day of our. But each sibling individual has her own stories, so it's like pretty interesting. But we'll get there once we run out of content. Be like, all right, Cody, come on and let's tell some stories.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. That way, I gotta start editing and get posting. But thanks for coming and doing this with us. I'm sure you'll see him again. I'd like to do a session with as many siblings as possible and do one a fun one called "Things My Mom Says."
There's a lot.
It'll be great.
I got a big
Comedy
list.
writes it. So, yeah, start making a list because then we'll do like a group one and it'll be a good time when we all get together.
Yep.
So, thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys at the next episode.
Adios.
See you later. All right, sweet. Good stuff.